I very much need this video. So when I saw this video pop up on my recommended, I was like, yes. We're gonna react to this. This one is titled "The Rules of Basketball Explained." It's by Nin. I'm hoping I'm saying it right. And as you all know, like, I've really recently gotten into basketball. Started watching it more. Started reacting to some player highlights, so on and so forth. But one thing that I've never really understood, that's probably a better way of phrasing it, is fouls. Fouls and timeouts I get just by, with logic, but fouls is like is like the aspect where I'm just like, what is it? What is an attacker's foul and what is a defender's foul? Like, where is that distinction? Where's that fine line? So I hope this video here can explain some of it. As well as just all the other rules. I will have this video linked in the description down below, so please check it out yourself as well before you watch my reaction to it. With that said, let us hop right in and get started and hopefully finally learn the rules of basketball.
Nin explains the rules of basketball. The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. Teams are made up of 15 players, with 5 players on the basketball court at any one time. They consist of 2 forwards, 2 guards, and a center.
Okay.
The game starts with a tip-off. Once someone has won possession of the ball, they have up to 24 seconds to shoot the ball towards the opponent's basket.
Okay.
These baskets are 10 feet above the ground
Standard
on a court that's generally about 94 feet long by 50 feet wide and varies depending on where you play.
Like, I'm not seeing anything.
To move the ball up the court, you can either pass the ball to a teammate or dribble the ball, where you bounce the ball up and down repeatedly whilst in motion. To score points, a player must shoot the ball into the opponent's basket. You get 2 points for any shot scored within this arc. If a player scores from a shot outside this arc, this scores 3 points. Any free throws that are awarded to your team scores 1 point. Failure to shoot the ball within 24 seconds results in a shot clock violation, and the other team is awarded possession of the ball.
Alright.
The opposing team will try and take the ball off you by either blocking shots, rebounding missed shots, or by stealing the ball away from an opposing player so that they can score themselves. The game is played in 4 12-minute quarters in the NBA, 4 10-minute quarters internationally, or 2 20-minute halves in the NCAA, and the highest score at the end of time.
Ooh, what's the NCAA? I've never heard of that one before.
Quarters internationally, or 2 20-minute halves.
That sounds interesting though, like 2 20-minute halves. So instead of what, 48 minutes, usually you get 20 minutes. Well, you get 40 minutes
in the NCAA, and the highest score at the end of time wins. There are no ties in basketball, so if the scores are tied at the end of regulation, overtime periods will be played to determine the winner.
Yeah.
Wow,
Got it.
that was the shortest video ever.
Wait, is that it?
Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. Whilst basketball is an easy game to understand,
fouls.
I've just explained the basic concept of the game.
That's
there are a lot of things in basketball
fouls.
that you're not allowed to do. So to make it easy for you to understand, there are generally 2 types of things you can't do: violations and fouls. Violations are generally called when you break one of the rules. The main violations include shot clock violation. As earlier stated, your team has 24 seconds in which to shoot the ball. If you've not shot the ball within this time, a shot clock violation is called and the ball is awarded to the other team. Double dribble. In basketball, you're only allowed to dribble the ball and stop once. If a player then begins to dribble again, this is known as double dribble and the ball is awarded to the other team. In basketball, you're only allowed to dribble the ball and stop once. If a player then begins to dribble again, this is known as double dribble and the ball is awarded to the other team. Traveling.
Okay.
If a player takes too many steps without dribbling the...
See, I didn't even know there was a traveling rule until like last week or so when Jimmy High Roller, or whatever his name is, this YouTube channel, made like a video on traveling. It was like something called like when you break the rules and you get away with it or something. It's titled something like that, and that's when I realized, wait, traveling is an actual thing. Okay, interesting.
The ball. This is traveling, and surprise, surprise, the ball is awarded to the other team. 3 in the key. A player cannot stay in the key, which is this section of the court, for more than 3 seconds.
Really?
Charging. A violation in which the attacking player runs into a stationary defender. Possession of the ball is awarded to the defender.
But they do that all the time and then they get a foul for it. That's what I don't understand. Because they do that all the time and then they get like free throws for that. Like, it's not a charge, it's a foul for the other side. That's basically what I'm trying to understand. Like, what's the distinction between a charge and you getting like, pushed off or like blocked or whatever.
Defending team. There are other violations that I've included a brief description of here, but the ones I previously mentioned are the ones you're most likely to encounter in a game. Fouls. Fouls are the most complicated thing to understand in basketball.
Absolutely.
But I'll try to explain this in the easiest way I know how.
Please do.
There are 3 types of fouls: personal fouls, flagrant fouls, and technical fouls. Personal fouls occur when a player commits illegal contact against another player. Imagine 2 players, an attacking player with a ball and a defending player without the ball.
Yeah.
Now imagine 2 giant cylinders that surround them that extend from the floor to the ceiling.
Okay.
Neither of these 2 players is allowed to encroach in each other's cylindrical space. If an attacking player makes contact with a defender in his space, then it's called an offensive foul against the attacker. If a
My issue with this is, right, it makes sense. Let me make this clear. It makes sense. And I've watched enough basketball to know what a foul is, right? To what a defensive foul is. I've watched enough of that. My issue is, a lot of the times what I see, and it's especially prevalent with whenever I watch the Milwaukee is it Buccaneers? I think it's Buccaneers. Yeah, the Milwaukee Buccaneers. Let's just go with that. That sounds right. Whenever I watch Giannis, and I'm gonna butcher. You know what? Let's just leave it at Gian. Let's just leave it at that. Whenever I see him, he has the ball, quite literally, runs into people, throws it, and gets the foul. And I'm just like, but you ran into them. It's not like the defender, encroached on your space. You quite literally had the ball. That's the defender, literally just standing there like, hi, that's me, I'm defender number 1. And it's Giannis, and he gets the ball, he's just like, out of my way, throw, and he gets the foul. I'm just like, what is the distinction between you getting that foul and all those free throws, and, you having a attacking foul? Where's the distinction between the defensive and the offensive foul? Like, how do you determine who's encroaching on whose personal space? To me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I never realized that until I started watching Giannis this season, and I just see him run into people. I'm just like, surely you're charging, but you're getting the calls. So what is the distinction between you charging at people and you being penalized for a charge? Does that make sense, or do it sound crazy? Is this just because I didn't grow up with it, I don't understand it? No. There must be some logic, and there must be some way of explaining it. Because this, as I said, it makes sense, and for any other player, it makes sense for the most part. But I notice it with Giannis especially, where it's he runs into people, but he gets the calls, and I'm just like, but you just ran into them. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy.
Defender makes contact with an attacker in his space, then it's called a defensive foul against the defender. Any foul in the act of shooting results in free throws being awarded to the attacking team. 2 shots for fouls inside the arc, and 3 shots for fouls outside the arc.
Okay.
If the shot went in and the shooter was fouled, the points they scored count, and they are awarded 1 extra shot.
All
Flagrant fouls. Flagrant fouls are severe fouls that occur when a player has made violent contact against another player. This always results in the other team being awarded 2 free throws.
2. Is that even outside?
Technical fouls.
Because I know, earlier he said, you get 3 free throws if you're fouling outside of the ring. Let's call it. I don't know what it's called, but the perimeter. But for a technical foul, is that the same thing? Because you
made violent contact against another player. This always results in the other team being awarded 2 free throws.
Because he says, it always results in 2 free throws. Not depending on where you are, it results in multiple free. No, it's always 2. So why wouldn't you just go for a violent? What's a violent? A technical? A flagrant foul. Sorry. Why would you not just go for a flagrant foul outside of the perimeter in the last second of the game, rather than a normal foul? Because if you give them a normal foul, they get 3 free throws, and if you give them a flagrant foul, they get 2. If that makes sense. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I'm just, I'm a sucker for rules, and I'm a sucker for breaking rules, alright?
Throws. Technical foul. Technical fouls are fouls that don't fit the description of either a personal or flagrant foul. Technical fouls can be awarded for fighting, unsportsmanlike conduct, or abuse from players and coaches against referees. 2 technical fouls equals an automatic ejection from the game. Any team that commits 5 or more fouls in any quarter will have 3 throws awarded against them per subsequent foul. And any one player who has racked up 5 fouls internationally, or 6 fouls in the NBA, is fouled out and can...
Okay, let me just wrap my head around that. That part, not an issue. 5 individual fouls or 6 and you get fouled out. 5 team fouls and free throws for every foul. Five team fouls happen within like 1 quarter, right? So basically, after like the first quarter, for every foul the team makes, the other team gets free throws. Basically.
Will have 3 throws awarded against them per subsequent foul. And any one player who has racked up 5 fouls internationally, or 6 fouls in the NBA, is fouled out and can no longer participate in the rest of the game.
That score.
This is a lot to take in, especially understanding how the fouls work. But as you watch or play basketball, the rules will become clear. If you have found this video at all helpful, please like, share with your friends, rate and comment. If you're also on Reddit, please post this video and discuss. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is always appreciated.
Fair.
Enjoy basketball.
One other thing that I wish like you went into, just because I saw it there towards the end, is missing like the net completely, or missing like the board and the net completely. Because I remember last season I wasn't watching that much basketball like last season, like 6-7 months ago. But I was watching like the odd game here or there. For me, the issue is that it typically starts at like 2-3 a.m. So it's like, am I really going to watch that? But like I was watching some games last season. And I swear, and I don't have proof for it, but I swear, whenever you had like an air ball, I think that's what it's called, the other team got a free throw. This season, however, where I'm watching a lot more games, whenever I see an air ball, nothing happens. Like the other team doesn't get like a free throw or anything. So I don't know if that's been a rule that's been changed, or whether I'm just going crazy. Yeah, I'm imagining things happening last season that didn't happen. I don't know which one it is. So I wish you would have touched on that as well, if there is something to touch on that, of course. The video helped me understand fouls a little bit, especially like the 3 different types of fouls. But I still don't understand how what the distinction is between like Giannis, to use the terms correctly, Giannis, what was it, rushing? No. Giannis like running into people, and that being awarded as a attacker's foul, and Giannis running into people and that being awarded as a defensive foul. Yeah, because like it feels like he gets all the calls all the time. So I don't know whether that's just the referees have a different views, the rules have changed, or what the situation is. But the video was helpful. The video was very helpful, actually. Appreciate this kind of video. I learned a lot about like the free throws and the fouls, so on and so forth. I still have that one question about like running into people, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think I'll never understand that part, but I guess I can just ignore that part because it just seems to concern one singular player. Anyway, though, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let me know what you want me to react to next. I'm open for basically anything. We also have a schedule. If you check out the community tab, you'll find my schedule posted there. So if you're ever interested in knowing what comes next, when is the next basketball video, you'll find it right there on the schedule. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see all of you in the next one. Everyone, until then, have a nice day. Peace out. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, bye.